The spreadsheet glowed green across the board. 10 days in Dubai, 4 first-class tickets, Atlantis the Royal, desert tours, yacht cruise, everything checked, double-checked, paid for, 30,000. 2 years of planning, all for Dad. I remembered him at our kitchen table 25 years ago, drywall dust still in his hair, pointing to a photo in National Geographic. Someday I'm going to see the Burj Khalifa in person, Claire Bear. Stand right at the base and look up. Now I could make it happen. Departure in 2 weeks, November 15th. Just enough time to brief Daniel on covering my projects and finalize the itinerary. My phone buzzed. Group text from Mom. I opened it. Diane, we've decided Brandon will go instead of you. Ashley says he'll take better photos and it'll be good for their relationship before the wedding. I read it twice, 3 times. No apology, no explanation. Just, we've decided. My name wasn't even in the sentence. Brandon, Ashley's fiancé. The guy who pitched me an app idea that already existed in 10 better versions. Who borrowed my Amazon account for $142 worth of supplements and acted hurt when I asked for repayment. Who'd never paid for a single dinner check without mysteriously needing the restroom. Brandon would take better photos. Ashley, you understand, right? This is important for us. No question mark. I waited for Dad to say something. His name sat in the chat, silent. 5 minutes. 10. Nothing. I created a new file. Dubai. Situation analysis. Stared at the empty cells while something inside me that had been bending for 32 years finally broke. Not with a snap, with a whisper. Brandon, thanks for being a team player, Claire. I'll make sure to tag you in all the photos. I set the phone down and opened my private spreadsheet, the one I'd never shown anyone. Missed rent, 4 years. 17,800 borrowed money never repaid, 2033 400 utilities, overage, 3,000, £2 total, $44,400. They'd been living in my second condo since the pandemic. Just until we get back on our feet, Mom had said. That was 4 years ago. Ashley moved in 2 years later with 6 suitcases, a dog, and Brandon. The rent payments had stopped completely this year. Last month, they bought a new espresso machine. I'd recognized it from my Amazon cart. Measure twice, cut once, Claire Bear. Dad's voice from 1,000 Saturday mornings. I'd measured for years. Now it was time to cut. I didn't go home. I sat in my dark office and made a list. Not tasks, memories, the pattern I'd been too conditioned to see. Age 8, science fair. Ashley's project, professionally done with Mom's help, won first place. Mine, hand-labeled with markers, got second. Dad missed my presentation because of an emergency job. Made it back for Ashley's victory photo. Mom's explanation. Ashley needs more support. You're naturally good at this. Age 16, my college fund. $3,200 saved from birthdays and summer jobs. Ashley crashed her car, let her insurance lapse. Just a loan, honey, just until she gets back on her feet. Never repaid. I took out student loans instead. Age 24, bought my first condo with 3 years of aggressive saving. 3 months later, pandemic hit. Dad's construction company dried up overnight. Just until we get back on our feet. I bought a second condo, investment property, gave them the keys. $900 a month, half the market rate. Year 1, 9 payments. Year 2, 6. Year 3, 4. Year 4, 0. I'd stopped asking. Asking created tension. Tension meant Sunday dinners where Dad couldn't meet my eyes and Mom got weepy about how hard everything is, and Ashley looked at me like I was the villain. So I tracked it silently. Every missed payment, every excuse, every new purchase that appeared while I got apologies about cash flow. Age 28. Ashley's roommate drama. She moved into the condo with Pepper the rescue dog and Brandon trailing behind. Just a few months until we find our own place. 4 years later, they were still there. I'd tried setting boundaries, gentle ones. Ashley's response. God, Claire, it's not like you're even using it. Why are you being so weird about this? I'd let it go. Family helps family. Now they were giving away my seat, on my trip, that I'd fully funded. My phone buzzed again. Diane, let us know if you need us to send you our dates for using the condo next month. Lots of stuff planned. I stared at that message for a long time. Then I Googled Locksmith Bend, Oregon 24-hour service. Before I did anything, I needed to remember exactly who I was being replaced by. 18 months ago. Sunday dinner. Brandon had arrived in a white Tesla, wearing designer jeans and a tech vest over cashmere. His handshake was purposeful, practiced. Claire Mitchell. Ashley's told me so much. Project manager at Westbrook, right? Impressive. Exactly the kind of operational excellence we need in the startup space. Brandon's in tech, Ashley gushed. He's disrupting the co-living space. Which company? I'd asked. Stealth mode right now. Developing the MVP. But Sequoia's interested. So is Andreessen Horowitz. Name-dropping without specifics. Red flag 1. What's your user acquisition strategy? Multifaceted, leveraging network effects and viral coefficients to optimize for growth. Buzzwords instead of answers. Red flag 2. When the dessert check came, Brandon excused himself to the bathroom. The bill sat there. Ashley looked at me expectantly. I paid. Brandon returned, thanked me casually, and launched into a story about his next game-changing pitch meeting. Walking to my car, Dad had caught up with me. What do you think of him? He talks a lot without saying anything, I'd said carefully. Dad nodded. Yeah, me too. Did you tell Mom? Your mother sees what she wants to see. Ashley's happy. That's what matters, right? I'd wanted to say, is she happy with him? Or the idea of him? Instead, right, that's what matters. In 18 months since, Brandon had become a fixture. Moved in without asking. Used my Wi-Fi, my Amazon account, my Netflix password, my Costco membership. Never paid for anything, never contributed rent, and he'd certainly never taken a good photo. I'd seen his Instagram, blurry selfies and badly cropped food pics. But sure, he'd take better photos than me in Dubai. 12:47 a.m. The building was empty. My phone sat silent on the desk. No follow-up messages. No, let's talk about this. No, hope you're okay with the change. Just silence from a family that had made a decision and expected me to absorb it. Like everything else for 32 years. Measure twice, cut once. I'd measured. For years, I'd measured. Calculated the cost of keeping peace, the price of being the easy daughter, the toll of never demanding my fair share. Now it was time to cut. I opened a new document. Dubai, Recovery Protocol. Phase 1, Withdraw funding. Phase 2, Reclaim property. Phase 3, Reset boundaries. Phase 4, See what's left. I didn't know what would be left. Maybe nothing. Maybe that was the point. I saved the document, shut down my laptop, and drove home. Not to the condo, to my apartment. My real home. The one that was mine alone. For the first time in 4 years, I didn't drive past the condo to check if everyone was safe. I slept better than I had in months. Tomorrow, the real work would begin. I didn't respond to the group chat. Not that day. Not the next. 72 hours before departure, I checked the Emirates portal during my lunch break. No changes. They hadn't officially modified any tickets, which meant they were planning to handle it at the airport. That evening, I drove past the condo, my condo, to drop off forwarded mail. The windows were open, voices carried across the yard, Ashley on the phone, pacing the living room. Jenny said she can help. She works TSA pre-check. I stopped walking. Yeah, we'll say Claire had a medical emergency. Brandon has power of attorney. Pause. It's not like she'll press charges on family. My hands went cold. This wasn't just replacement. This was fraud. Premeditated. I walked back to my car quietly, sat in the driver's seat, and opened my voice memo app. Documented everything I'd heard with timestamps. Then I called Emirates. Different rep this time. Fraud department. I'm concerned someone might try to use my ticket fraudulently. The woman's voice sharpened with attention. "Tell me more." I explained, carefully, professionally, gave her dates, names, what I'd overheard. "This happens more than you'd think," she said, "usually with families. We'll flag your reservation. If anyone attempts to board using your name without proper documentation, they'll be stopped." "What happens then?" "Security gets involved, possible criminal charges for identity fraud." "Thank you. You should file a formal report, just in case." I did. That night, with timestamps, screenshots, the voice memo as backup. Then I sat in my apartment and stared at my laptop. They were counting on me not fighting back, on family loyalty keeping me quiet while they committed a crime using my identity. I opened my recovery protocol document. Phase 1, withdraw funding, time to execute. 5 days before departure. I started at 6 a.m. Coffee, spreadsheet, phone, Atlantis, the Royal. 6:47 a.m. "Yes, I need to cancel my reservation. Mitchell, confirmation number." "Of course, Ms. Mitchell. May I ask why?" "Work emergency. Can't travel." "You're within our 72-hour cancellation window. Full refund of $9,847. Perfect. Please confirm via email." One down. Desert Safari. 7:15 a.m. Canceled. Refund $1,200. Yacht Cruise. 7:23 a.m. Canceled. Refund $2,100. Burj Khalifa. Dinner. 7:31 a.m. Canceled. Refund $800. I worked through the list methodically. Each confirmation email a small punctuation mark. Each refund a boundary being drawn. By 9 a.m., I'd recovered $15,947. The flights were trickier. Emirates wouldn't cancel the outbound leg, too close to departure. But the fraud department confirmed, return flights flagged for security screening. If the boarding mismatch appeared again, escalation was automatic. Last step, I called my credit card company. "I need to report my card as potentially compromised. Have you noticed any fraudulent charges?" "Not yet, but I want to be protected." They canceled the card. New one would arrive in 5-7 business days. Every Dubai charge had been on that card. They'd have no access to my payment method. I closed my laptop at 9:47 a.m. and felt nothing. Not vindication, not guilt. Just the strange emptiness of a decision made. My phone buzzed. "Daniel, coffee?" "Claire, yes. I need to tell you something." The coffee shop. 10:30 a.m. "You did what?" Daniel stared at me over his latte. "Canceled everything." "Everything?" "Hotel, tours, excursions. Changed my credit card number. The return flights are flagged for security." "Jesus, Claire." "They were going to commit fraud. Use my identity at the airport. I have it recorded." Daniel set his cup down. "Are you okay?" That question, the one I'd been avoiding. "I don't know," I said honestly. "Ask me in a week." "What happens when they get there?" "They'll figure it out. Or they won't. Either way, it's not my problem anymore." Daniel studied me. "This isn't like you." "Maybe that's been the problem." That afternoon, I called Nathan Garrett, the real estate attorney who'd handled my condo purchases. "Nathan, I need advice on a property matter." 20 minutes later, he'd heard the whole story. "Claire, you've been too generous. Legally, this is complicated." "How complicated?" "You can't just evict without proper notice. But we can start the process. Draft a formal lease market rate and give them 30 days to sign or vacate." "Do it." "You're sure?" "I'm sure." By 5 p.m., Tom Wilkins, a locksmith, was at the condo. The family was out. I'd checked. "You sure about this?" Tom asked, installing smart locks on both doors. "They might get locked out." "They have until tomorrow to respond to my email. I'm giving them notice." Motion sensor cameras went up. Video doorbell synced to my phone. Everything legal, everything documented. I taped a printed notice inside the window. Entry by non-tenants subject to trespass law. Contact property manager. Then I emailed the formal lease agreement. Subject: formal rental agreement, 123 Pine Ridge condo. Terms: $2,950 month, market rate. Due: first and last month, $5,900. Deadline, 30 days to sign or vacate. CC, Nathan Garrett, attorney at law. I pressed send at 7:43 p.m. My phone showed the email was opened at 7:51 p.m. 8 p.m. Nothing. 9 p.m. Nothing. 10 p.m. Text from Ashley. Ashley, are you serious? I didn't reply. That was my answer. Phone. November 15th, 5:14 a.m. I woke early, checked the Emirates app. They'd checked in online. All 4 names. I made coffee, went to work like it was any other day. Aren't you flying to Dubai today? A coworker asked. Change of plans. What I didn't see, what I learned later from the fraud department and Bob's eventual voicemail, was this. Portland Airport, 11:30 a.m. Brandon, Ashley, Diane, and Bob arrived at PDX with luggage and excitement. Check-in counter, first red flag. I'm showing Claire Mitchell as primary booking. Is she traveling with you? Ashley, smooth and prepared. She had a medical emergency. We have documentation. A forged doctor's note, later evidence. I'll need to verify with our fraud department. Brandon tried charm. Didn't work. TSA checkpoint. Bigger problem. Diane and Bob's tickets. Fine. Ashley's ticket. Fine. Brandon's ticket. Flagged. This ticket is under Claire Mitchell's name. Family emergency. We have permission. Do you have notarized power of attorney? No, but... Sir, you can't board with someone else's ticket. That's identity fraud. Brandon, voice rising. This is ridiculous! We're family! TSA supervisor called, then security. While they dealt with Brandon, Bob pulled Ashley aside. Did you know this wouldn't work? Ashley broke. Brandon said Jenny could fix it. Jenny who? His friend, from college. She works TSA. Bob's voice went quiet. Dangerous quiet. This is fraud, Ashley. Your sister could press charges. Claire won't. She never fights back. Bob stared at his older daughter. Maybe she should have started years ago. The outcome. Brandon detained, questioned, released with warning. No charges filed, yet. 3 of them boarded. Brandon stayed behind, furious. My phone started blowing up at 2:47 p.m. Diane. Claire, what did you do? Ashley. You embarrassed us in front of everyone. Diane. We're on the plane. Brandon isn't. Are you happy? Brandon. Claire, this is fucked up. 1 voicemail. Dad's number. I almost didn't listen. Bob's voice, tired and low. Claire, I don't know what to say. This is wrong. All of it. I'll call when we land. I read every message. Didn't respond to any. Went for a run instead. Kekasei. Aha Tux. 14 a.m. PST. 2:14 p.m. Dubai time, day 1. My phone vibrated on the nightstand. I ignored it. By morning, 23 unread messages. Diane. There's no hotel reservation. The guy at the desk just laughed at us. Ashley. What did you do? Diane. We can't reach anyone. The excursions are gone. Ashley. Cairo. Brandon's real name, apparently. This is completely unprofessional and borderline illegal. You'll be hearing from my attorney. I scrolled through them over coffee. They'd landed in Dubai expecting luxury. Got chaos instead. I imagined them at the Atlantis front desk, tired and smug, only to hear, no reservation under that name. The panic cracking through. Diane's polished voice shaking. Ashley hysterical. They'd built a world out of assumptions. I'd simply removed the foundation. Day 2 to 3. They checked into a Best Western. $180 night instead of $1,200. No beach access, far from everything. Budget tours, bus safari instead of private SUV. Regular Burge tickets instead of VIP dinner. Ashley refused to participate. This is humiliating. Day 3. The incident. Bob insisted on the budget dessert safari. The tour was overcrowded, poorly managed. During the camel ride, Bob fell. His bad knee, the one that had needed surgery for years, took the impact. Emergency clinic, $800 out of pocket. No international insurance. Mine had been canceled with the hotel. Diane's call. 11:47 p.m. Fiancée. I almost didn't answer. Your father is hurt because of you. I felt it then. Genuine concern cutting through the anger. How bad? Knee. Maybe torn. We're at a clinic now. I'll wire money for medical care. Don't bother, you've done enough. She hung up. I sat in the dark of my apartment and questioned myself for the first time. Did I go too far? Called Daniel. Your dad got hurt on a trip he shouldn't have been on in the first place, he said. They made choices. This is consequences. I wired $1,000 anyway. Anonymous. With a note. For Bob's care. Get it checked properly. Not heartless. Just boundaried. Day 5. They return. The flights home were silent. No Instagram photos. No group texts about amazing experiences. Just 3 people who'd learned that someone else's generosity isn't infinite. Next morning, 7 a.m., knock on my apartment door. I opened it to find Dad, alone, arm in a sling, new knee brace visible under his jeans. Can we talk? I stepped aside. We sat at my kitchen table. I made coffee. Habit. Long silence. I didn't want Brandon to go, Bob said finally. I stopped stirring my coffee. What? I told your mother it wasn't right. We argued about it for days. Then why didn't you say anything in the group chat? Because I never say anything. That's been the problem for 30 years. He told me then. About the business failing in 2015, not 2020. About the credit card debt, $87,000, not the pandemic story they'd sold. About how Diane's solution was always to borrow from me, temporarily, until they got back on their feet. We told ourselves it was temporary. It's been 9 years. Why are you telling me this now? Because I'm filing bankruptcy. Diane doesn't know yet, and I wanted you to hear it from me. I stared at my father. Gray hair, permanent tired lines around his eyes, hands calloused from decades of work that never quite paid enough. Are you really evicting us? He asked. You have 30 days to sign a fair lease or find somewhere else. Claire? No, Dad. I measured twice. Now I'm cutting. He flinched at the callback, nodded, stood to leave. At the door, he turned back. I'm sorry, not just for Dubai, for all of it. I know. Is there any coming back from this? I thought about it, honestly. I don't know yet. Ask me in 6 months. He left. I sat alone with my coffee and felt the strangest thing. Relief. Diet. Week 1. After Dubai. They didn't sign the lease, didn't respond to Nathan's emails, just stayed in the condo, silent and defiant. Day 6, grace period ended. Late fees started accumulating. Day 8, Victoria Hayes, the property manager I'd hired, visited the condo. Diane answered the door. I'm here about lease signing. We're not signing that ridiculous contract. Then you need to vacate. Ashley from inside. This is our home. This is Ms. Mitchell's property. You're occupying it without legal agreement. Door slammed. Victoria called me. They're not cooperative. We need to file. File it. Nathan filed formal eviction notice with Deschutes County. Sheriff would serve papers within 72 hours. Ashley's text. You're really doing this. Claire. You had options. You chose not to take them. Brandon's threat. A letter from some cheap lawyer arrived. Claimed emotional distress and financial damages. Demanded $15,000. Nathan's response was swift. Your client attempted to board a plane using fraudulent identification. Ms. Mitchell could press criminal charges. Withdraw your baseless claim immediately. Brandon went silent after that. Week 2. The sheriff, Bob, answered the door when the sheriff arrived, accepted the eviction notice quietly. 30 days to vacate or appear in court, sir. I understand. That night, my phone exploded. Ashley. A sheriff? You sent a sheriff? Claire. That's standard eviction procedure. Ashley. You're destroying this family. Claire. I'm enforcing a legal contract, or lack thereof. Ashley. Mom's crying. Dad won't talk to anyone. I hope you're happy. Claire, I'm not happy, but I'm done being sad. I hung up. Diane's email. 2,147 words. Subject: How did we get here? A novel about sacrifice and motherhood. About staying up all night to sew my school play costume at 11. About birthday cakes made from scratch. I sacrificed my career to raise you girls. This is how you repay me? Conspicuously missing any acknowledgement of my contributions. Conspicuously missing any apology for Dubai. I didn't respond immediately. Called Daniel, read him the email. She listed things from 20+ years ago. Can't think of anything recent. I realized she couldn't. I drafted a response. Thank you for breakfast in 1999. Here's a bill for $44,420.24. We're even. Deleted it. Wrote instead. I need space. Sent that. 3 weeks until court. I slept well that night. Better than I had in years. Deschutes County Courthouse. 3 weeks after Dubai. Nathan met me outside at 8:45 a.m. Gray suit, leather briefcase. The calm competence of someone who'd done this 100 times. They might not show, he said. That's common. They'll show. Diane never backs down. I was right. They pulled into the parking lot at 8:52 a.m. Diane from the passenger seat, Bob limping with his cane, Ashley trailing behind. No, Brandon, I noticed that immediately. A court-appointed advocate walked with them. Free legal aid. We didn't speak, didn't make eye contact. Just filed into the small courtroom and sat on opposite sides. Judge Patricia Reynolds presiding, mid-50s, reading glasses, no-nonsense expression. Case 2024 EV 1947. Mitchell versus Mitchell, Mitchell and Mitchell. Eviction proceedings. Nathan stood. Your Honor, I'm representing the plaintiff, Ms. Claire Mitchell. The advocate stood. Representing the defendants, Your Honor. Nathan's case. Clean, professional, documented. No written lease. 4 years of occupancy. Missed rent totaling $17,800. Good faith attempt at resolution. Lease offer sent, ignored. Proper eviction procedure followed. 30-day notice, grace period, all by the book. He presented the spreadsheet, the emails, the certified mail receipts. Ms. Mitchell has been more than generous, Your Honor. She's simply asking the court to enforce property rights that are legally hers. The defense. The advocate tried. Your Honor, this is a family matter. The defendants have lived in the property for 4 years with the plaintiff's permission. This is retaliatory eviction following a family dispute. Nathan countered smoothly. Verbal, month-to-month at best, Your Honor. No written agreement protects them from standard eviction procedures, and the family dispute in question involved attempted identity fraud at an international airport. We have documentation. Diane gasped. Ashley's face went red. The judge's question. Ms. Mitchell. Judge Reynolds looked at me directly. Why are you pursuing this? I stood, felt everyone's eyes on me. Your Honor, I love my family. But love doesn't mean allowing financial abuse. I offered a fair market lease. They refused. I followed legal procedure. I'm asking the court to enforce property rights that are mine. Did you ever have a written agreement? No, Your Honor, that was my mistake. I'm correcting it now. Silence. The judge reviewed documents. I sympathize with the family situation, Judge Reynolds said finally. However, property rights are clear. Ms. Mitchell owns the property. She has the right to determine occupancy terms. Diane's hands gripped the table. The defendants had opportunity to sign a lease agreement. They chose not to. I'm granting the eviction. Defendants have 14 days to vacate. Ashley made a sound, half sob, half gasp. Furthermore, I'm ordering defendants to pay outstanding rent. The amount claimed is $17,800. However, given the family relationship and lack of written agreement, I'm reducing this by $5,000 for hardship consideration. Total owed $12,800. Payment plan allowed over 12 months. Minimum $1,067 per month. The gavel came down. Aftermath. Diane broke in the hallway. Full crying, mascara running. Ashley stormed out to the parking lot. Bob approached me slowly. Can we talk? Not here. Nathan touched my arm. You won. Why doesn't it feel like winning? 2 days later, 11:17 p.m., my phone rang. Ashley's name. I almost didn't answer, but something made me. What? Can I come over? Her voice was small, defeated, not angry, just empty. Why? Because I need to tell you something, and if I don't do it now, I never will. 20 minutes later, she was at my door. No makeup, sweatshirt, no fight left. I let her in. She sat on my couch and started crying before she even spoke. Brandon left me. I waited. Week after Dubai, said I was too much drama and he needed to protect his brand. Bitter laugh. Turns out there was no startup, no investors, no disrupting anything. He was lying the whole time. I sat in the chair across from her. Mom knew. Ashley's head snapped up. What? She knew he was full of shit. She told me at Christmas. But she thought if you acted like he was successful, he'd become successful. Like manifestation. Like delusion, Ashley whispered. Silence. You want to know why Mom always chose me? Ashley asked. I didn't answer. Because she knew you'd be okay without her. I wouldn't. That's not fair to you. No, it's not. I know. She wiped her eyes. I demanded more. You accepted less. We both played roles, Claire. Is that an apology? I'm sorry. About Dubai. About Brandon. About everything. About being a shit sister for 10 years. I felt something shift. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But acknowledgement. I don't know if I forgive you yet, I said honestly. I wouldn't forgive me either. Long silence. Where are you living? Airbnb. Mom and Dad got a small apartment near Bob's new job. I'm figuring it out. I considered. Really considered. I have a second bedroom. You can stay here. Temporarily. Ashley stared. What? 1 month. You pay $800, utilities included. You get therapy, you get a job, then you find your own place. After everything? You apologized. That's more than Mom or Brandon ever did. She nodded, crying again. We sat in my living room at midnight, two sisters who'd been strangers for years, and started the hard work of maybe becoming something honest. 1 month later, Ashley moved out successfully, found a job as an event coordinator, found a roommate through work, paid me the $800 rent on time, actually said thank you. The day she packed, she found an old photo wedged in a book. The three of us, Claire, Ashley, Bob, building a birdhouse. We were maybe 7 and 10. I forgot about this, she said. Dad taught me measurement, taught you painting. We were a team once. We were kids once. Twist number 5, the financial discovery. Ashley held up a folder. I found Mom's financial records. She asked me to help organize for the apartment lease application. And? Dad's company didn't fail during pandemic. It failed in 2015. They've been lying about when. Mom took out credit cards in Dad's name. They've been in debt for 9 years. My stomach dropped. How much? Over $87,000. To credit companies, some in collections, some at 29% interest. I sat down hard. They weren't just using you, Ashley said quietly. They were drowning. Did they think I wouldn't help if they told the truth? They knew you'd try to fix it. They didn't want to be fixed. They wanted to pretend everything was fine. The weight of it settled on me. Years of lies. Not malicious, pathetic, desperate. What are you going to do? Ashley asked. Nothing. Nothing. I can't save them. I can barely save myself. That's really sad. Yeah. We hugged then. First genuine hug in years. I don't know if we'll ever be close again, Ashley said. Maybe that's okay. Maybe we can just be honest. I'd like that. She left. I closed the door. Breathed. 3 months after Dubai, Bob texted, "Can we have dinner? Just us. No Diane, no Ashley. I need to talk." I hesitated 24 hours, then agreed. Small diner in Bend, neutral ground. He arrived early, unusual, had a folder. I slid into the booth across from him. You wanted to talk. He pushed the folder across the table. Real financial records. Ashley said she told you some of it. 87,000 in debt. 94,000 now. Interest. He looked old. So old. Why show me this? Because you deserve to know why we took advantage of you. I thought I knew. You think it was malice. It wasn't. It was cowardice. He explained then. Business failure in 2015. Too proud to ask for help. Diane's solution. Credit cards. Borrowing from me. We told ourselves it was temporary. It's been 9 years. Why tell me now? Because I'm filing bankruptcy. Diane doesn't know yet, and I wanted you to hear it from me. Chapter 7. Fresh start. What about Mom? She'll be furious. But we can't keep living like this. What about us, Dad? Long silence. I don't know. I ruined it. I know that. You chose them over me. Every time. Yes. Why? His voice cracked. Because they demanded choosing. You never did. And I took the easy path. That's honest. It's all I have left. I pushed the folder back. I'm not helping financially. I want to be clear. I know. But I'm not disappearing either. His head shot up. You're not. We can have dinner once a month. Just us. No money talk. No mom drama. No fixing. Just dinner? Just dinner. His eyes watered. I'd like that. Me too. We ate in semi-comfortable silence. It wasn't forgiveness. It wasn't reconciliation. It was acknowledgement, honesty. It was a start. 6 months after Dubai, my life had changed in quiet ways. Promoted to senior project manager, leading the stadium project. Mentoring younger women at work. Set boundaries early. Still lived alone. Preferred it. Saw Ashley monthly for coffee. Slow rebuilding. Dinner with Bob monthly, careful but real. Hadn't spoken to Diane in 6 months. Not avoiding, just nothing to say. The 12-1800 payment plan. 4 payments received, on time. Condo rented to actual tenants. Young couple, stable income, signed lease. Finally positive cash flow. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. Claire? It's Mom. I almost hung up. Hi, Diane. Can we talk? In person, please. I considered. Why? Because I need to say things. To your face. Next week. Coffee shop. She looked older, tired, smaller somehow. Thank you for coming. I nodded. Didn't smile. I've been in therapy. Court-ordered for bankruptcy. But I kept going. My eyebrows raised. Genuine surprise. And I'm supposed to make amends. Not for the therapist. For me. Okay. I'm sorry for Dubai. And for the condo. And for prioritizing Ashley. I waited. She had more to say. Or she didn't. Is that everything? She bristled. What else do you want? I want you to understand why it was wrong, not just list things you're sorry for. I don't understand the difference. I know, that's the problem. Diane's jaw tightened. You've changed. You're harder now. No, I'm clearer now. What's the difference? Hard is closed. Clear is boundaried. I'm not closed to you, but I'm clear about what I will and won't accept. She processed that. What will you accept? Honesty. No financial entanglement. No expectation that I'll fix things. That's it? That's a lot, actually. What if I can't give that? Then we'll be estranged, and that's sad. But I'll survive it. She sat with that. I don't like who you've become. I smiled. Genuinely. I do. For the first time in my life, I actually do. I stood to leave. My number hasn't changed. If you want this relationship on honest terms, call me. If not, I wish you well. I walked out. Behind me, Diane sat alone, pulled out her phone, typed, okay, honest terms. I'll try. Deleted it. Not ready yet. Maybe someday. ... That evening, I opened my laptop, found the file. Family accounts, .xlsx. Years of tracking. Numbers, dates, calculations. $44,000 of hurt, quantified. I moved it to trash. Hesitated. Are you sure you want to permanently delete? Clicked yes. I walked to my window with coffee, sun setting over Bend, painting the Cascades gold. My phone buzzed. Daniel, drinks tomorrow? Celebrating your promotion? Claire, yes, 7 p.m. Ashley, coffee Saturday? Claire, 10 a.m. Bob, dinner next Tuesday? Found a new place. Claire, sounds good, Dad. No message from Diane. Maybe it would come. Maybe it wouldn't. I thought about Dubai. The trip that never was. The empty seat that started everything. I realized I didn't want that seat anymore. Not on that trip. Not in that family dynamic. Not in that version of myself who bent until breaking. The final lines. I spent 30 years trying to earn a seat at a table where I was always the last choice. So I built my own table. Set my own terms. Some days I eat alone. Some days I have company. Both are okay. I'm okay. For the first time in my life, that's not a measurement of what others think of me. It's just true. The seat is empty. I'm finally full.